Hello and welcome to the Cyber1 YouTube channel. My name is Ray, and in this video, SpotMicro Part 2, we are going to work on the back legs. So in Part 1 we built the front legs. Now the back legs are very similar to the front legs. The major difference is in this part, and really the only difference is that we swap them over. So when you look at how the inside of the robot is built, and it's not a very clear picture, we actually find that our servos key into the end plates, each end. That means that the back legs compared to the front legs are the servos are facing in the opposite direction for the top joint here. So all we need to do is we print out all the same parts as we did for the front legs. We just swap these two over. Alright, so let's start with this one. Again, I'm using the PDI servos, or the JX servos, for the bottom legs. Using the 25mm screws and bores for the bottom part of the wrist, and 20mm for the top part of the wrist. I had to reprint these wrist components while doing the test assembly. I overbalanced the robot and essentially dropped it, landed on its back legs, and they broke. So until the robot is complete, it's susceptible to damage. Okay, that's that part. Okay, this is a left leg. I can tell this is set at maximum position. Alright, so again we've got our channel in here. It's a groove for the wire to flow or run in. We have a bearing goes on the end here. Grab our M3 20mm long screw. And that goes through this hole. And that stops these two parts coming apart. Okay, let's unplug that and start our next servo. So this part from the first video, it's the same as the other two I have up here. We start out with one of these 4-way servo horns. I'll actually pull that off. So we start out with one of those 4-way servo horns. We cut off 3 of the arms and then file it down to fit in the hole. And it seems to work all right. And before we put our servo in, we need to put our nuts in. So while the plans call for hex nuts all the way through, I've gone with square nuts for this servo. These are an M4 square nut. We should have 8 of them in this box. and again M4 by 20mm long screws. Okay, so with that one being set at 220 for the maximum position to be all the way folded up, we need this one set in the opposite position when we attach this. Now what I normally do is set this, or what I've been doing is setting that and then using that as my line for setting this part. Now the nub goes to the top and I'm just lining that through here. Before we can do that, however, I need to actually fit this part in. That's it. So it pokes all the way through so that the bottom of the horn is actually just flush on the top. Okay, that's that one done. So our last servo has this 6-point horn on it. That will fit into the bodywork when it's finished. Again, the output shaft of the servo is in line with the little nub on the end here. That little nub on the end is for these flange bearings. So there's essentially 2 flange bearings per leg, 3 servos per leg. But that's loose on there at the moment, so it'll fall off if I start playing around too much. Okay, that's another leg done. So that was the back left, and this will be the back right. So 25mm screws and 4s. Okay, so the last one was set at maximum. For this one to be fully closed up. In this case, we want this one set to minimum. Oh, there it is. Okay, turning it over, we add a bearing. Now our wire runs down the back here. Then this clips around the bottom, over the top of our wire, and everything just pushes together nicely. And we use our M3 screw just to hold it all together. Okay, we've got 4 square nuts. Okay, and 4 by 20mm long. Okay, so last joint was set at minimum, so we set this one to maximum. Okay. So that leaves one last servo to put in, that's this one. Okay, so that's our last leg assembled. Now I don't know if I showed this in the last video, but these two bearings that are left on the list just fit on like there. That's the support for the other side of this servo, because this does carry all the weight of the robot dog, or between the four of them, so it does need a little bit of extra support. There is a modification for a supported version of this, so there's a bearing on the outside comes back for this. I may look at that in a future video. We'll see how this performs first. If it starts causing issues with this joint, then I'll look at modifying that then. If you like these videos, don't forget to click on like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leaving a comment, let us know what you think. Also helps this channel. That's a form of support that costs you absolutely nothing, but does help the channel a great deal. If you'd like to help the channel further with upgraded servos and the like, I do have a Patreon account where you can join my VIP Patreons, Joe Lucky and Lorenz Berger, and my other Patreons, Al Morales 45 and Ratchet. I also have a Discord channel where you can join the growing community of builders, building robots like Imove and Spot. Answer questions, get questions answered. It's a good place to go into from time to time. And we'll see you in the next video.